Okay, quick question. If scientists cloned you right now, like full copy, same DNA, same face, same weird laugh, would that clone be you? Or would it just be a stranger wearing your face? Yeah, buckle up. This one gets weird fast. So here's the thing everyone assumes. Clone equals same DNA equals same person. Case closed. Right, wrong, not even close. First problem. Clones aren't even 100% genetically identical to begin with. When you clone something, you take the nucleus from one cell. But you still need an egg from a totally different source to grow it in. And that egg brings its own tiny bit of DNA along for the ride, the mitochondrial DNA. It's small, like 0.1% of your total genome, but it's there. So technically, your clone would have a little bit of someone else mixed in from day one. Kind of ruins the perfect copy fantasy, huh? And honestly, we already have real clones walking around. They're called identical twins. Same DNA at birth, practically copy-paste. But give it a few years and their fingerprints are different. Their gut bacteria are different. Even the way their genes switch on and off, different. Same blueprint, totally different buildings. And here's a fun detail most people don't know. Even fingerprints form partly at random in the womb, from tiny fluid movements around the fetus. So even a genetically perfect clone, made today, would still end up with completely different fingerprints than you. Isn't that wild? Same DNA, different thumbprint. Let's talk about Dolly. You know, the sheep. Back in the 90s, scientists cloned Dolly from a 6-year-old sheep's cell. And something strange happened. When they checked Dolly's DNA, her telomeres, basically the little protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes that shrink as you age, were already shorter than they should have been for a newborn lamb. Which raised this genuinely unsettling question. Was Dolly secretly born, already 6 years old? Like, biologically speaking. For years, people thought that's exactly what happened. That cloning didn't reset the clock, it just carried over the age. Kind of dark, right? You get made and you're already halfway to your expiration date. But, plot twist. Later studies on Dolly and other cloned sheep found no unusual aging, no early arthritis, nothing. Turns out the first scary finding might have just been a fluke. So even the scientists don't fully agree on this. Which honestly makes it more interesting, not less. If you clone yourself tomorrow, nobody can even promise you whether your clone ages normally or starts the race a few laps behind. Science just shrugs at this one. Now here's where it stops being science and starts messing with your head. Philosophers have been asking basically this exact question for centuries, way before cloning was even possible. There's this famous thought experiment. Imagine a machine destroys your body completely, but recreates an exact copy of you somewhere else. Same memories, same personality, everything. Is that still you? Or did you just die, and someone who thinks they're you got made in your place? There's an even weirder version. Imagine your brain gets split in half, and each half gets put into a different body, and both halves wake up thinking they're the real you. Which one wins? Spoiler, there's no clean answer. Philosophers still argue about this one. And this isn't even new. 300 years ago, a guy named John Locke was already asking, if a prince's mind somehow ended up in a cobbler's body, is that person now the prince or the cobbler? Same question. Zero cloning technology. Still just as confusing. There's also this older puzzle called the Ship of Theseus. Basically, if you slowly replace every single plank on a ship, one at a time until none of the original wood is left, is it still the same ship? People have argued about that one since ancient Greece, and it turns out even little kids intuitively get the logic behind it when you test them on living things instead of ships. Same idea, just wearing a toga instead of a lab coat. So here's where we land. Genetically, a clone could be almost you. Biologically, maybe not. Science is still a little fuzzy on the aging thing. But personally, psychologically, the thing that actually makes you you, that clone would start making its own memories the second it opened its eyes. New experiences, new choices, a totally separate life running on your old software. So, would it still be you? Honestly, probably not. It'd be someone else. Someone who just happens to know all your secrets and also, unfortunately, inherited your weird laugh. Anyway, that's enough to make anyone stare at the ceiling tonight. If your brain is still buzzing on this one, let me know down in the comments. Would you actually clone yourself if you could? Be honest. See you in the next one.